The Republican Party currently has a major issue and it's being exposed in real time. And if Republicans can't fix this issue quickly, not only will President Donald Trump's entire presidency be doomed, but the fate of our nation is actually currently still at stake because of this issue. And I'm going to cover what that issue is and why it's such a big problem right now, right here on American Advocates. When it comes to the voter turnout that we experienced from Republicans and the MAGA party last November, MAGA did not disappoint. President Donald Trump wound up decisively winning that election with over 74 million votes, winning also the popular vote and all 7 swing states. It was indeed a red wave blowout. As a result, the Republicans and MAGA won the war. But the problem that is plaguing the Republican Party right now is currently being exposed, and that problem is that we are failing to understand that when one war is won, a new one is begun.
The Republican Party is grappling with a new reality. We have a lot of voters in the party that do not vote regularly. They're low propensity voters. They turned out for Donald Trump. They like to vote when he's on the ballot. But even in the November election, you saw people show up, vote Trump, and then leave the rest of it blank.
And there have been several key battles for this new war after the presidential elections that are already being lost by the Republicans, and we're failing to see it, recognize it, or do anything about it. It needs to change because the battles that are being lost right now are battles in the form of statewide and local elections. Republicans are happy to turn out in large numbers for President Trump specifically, and also for presidential elections, but these statewide and local elections are being dominated by Democrat turnout. Let's go to a very recent example that just happened back March 25th, Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. We tragically saw on March 25th a state Senate seat flip from red to blue as it went to Democrat James Malone in a 482 vote margin. President Donald Trump won there by 15 points back in November of 2024, but only 35% of the same turnout for him turned out for that election for the state Senate seat, and they lost it. The Republicans have held that since the 1980s, and now it's gone. And I'm using these examples to state the obvious pattern that can be seen here. When it comes to President Donald Trump specifically, Republicans and MAGA turn out like it's the Super Bowl. But when it comes to local and state elections, they don't seem to understand the importance and severity that some of these elections have. And they do get quite severe, and they do come with consequences. For example, right now in Wisconsin, we have a state Supreme Court seat up for grabs there. And you might be thinking, I don't live in Wisconsin. Or even if you live in Wisconsin, you might be thinking, what does that really matter all that much? I'll tell you why it matters. Brad Schimel, the Republican, is going up against Democrat Susan Crawford, and whichever candidate wins that seat will wind up flipping the state Supreme Court there from either red to blue majority or blue to red majority. It'll be 4-3, Republican or Democrat. How does this matter? It matters because Wisconsin is going to undergo redistricting that will affect their control. This is a swing state, mind you. And Donald Trump won it, of course. But if this state Supreme Court decision goes in Susan Crawford's favor, which it currently is looking like it will, then that state is going to be permanently blue for the next 4 years as they move to redistrict it in Democrat favor. And this will also allow them to gain 2 additional House of Representatives seats in the midterm elections of 2026. And if they gain control of the House, the latter half of President Donald Trump's entire presidency is at stake because the House will hold up everything and they will slam Donald Trump with impeachment trials and all kinds of other nonsense. So as you can see, this localized election matters so much more than you would think at just surface level. And Republican Brad Schimel there needs a current MAGA miracle to happen because he is down to Susan Crawford 53 to 46%. But all hope is not lost. We are seeing ginormous turnout in the local Florida elections that's also happening at the same time, as Republicans are gaining so many points. From just earlier this morning at 8.6, they're now up to 16. It's skyrocketing. MAGA support is skyrocketing in Florida, and Florida is not a swing state, mind you, so they are more concretely Republican. However, this is the best example that can be set for the state of Wisconsin and for all other state and local elections going forward this year and into next year. These elections often happen right under supporters and voters' noses, so it is our duty to remain diligent, remain aware of your local and state elections, and get out there and vote, because it's not just the presidential election that matters. These local and state elections directly affect your quality of life, and in many cases, overall affect the big picture when it comes to America as a whole.